a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
I could see why he called it that. The cedar-beamed ceiling was 4 stories high, held up by carved stone pillars engraved with hieroglyphs. A weird assortment of musical instruments and ancient Egyptian weapons decorated the walls. 3 levels of balconies ringed the room, with rows of doors, all looking out on the main area. The fireplace was big enough to park a car in, with a plasma screen TV above the mantel and massive leather sofas on either side. On the floor was a snakeskin rug, except it was 40 feet long and 15 feet wide, bigger than any snake. Outside, through the glass walls, I could see the terrace that wrapped around the house. It had a swimming pool, a dining area, and a blazing fire pit. And at the far end of the great room was a set of double doors, marked with the Eye of Horus, and chained with half a dozen padlocks. I wondered what could possibly be behind them. But the real showstopper was a statue in the center of the great room. It was 30 feet tall, made of black marble. I could tell it was of an Egyptian god, because the figure had a human body and an animal's head, like a stork or a crane, with a long neck and a really long beak. The god was dressed ancient style in a kilt, sash, and a neck collar. He held a scribe's stylus in one hand, and an open scroll in the other, as if he'd written the hieroglyphs inscribed there, an ankh, the Egyptian looped cross, with a rectangle traced around its top. Welcome to Of the Oldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Raye, following the path of Geb.
And I'm Charlie, following the path of Bast.
And I'm Ethan, following the path of Thoth.
We did it again. We got another nerd, the nerd god.
Goddamn. Okay, everybody likes Thoth, though, right? I like Thoth.
He's just...
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the most important gods, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So...
He's a vibe.
He's a vibe.
He is a vibe.
He's a bird dude. Pretty cool.
There are several bird dudes, Charlie. What are you talking about?
There are, in fact, many bird dudes. It's Egyptian mythology. You're either a bird or you're a cat. And that's like 90% of them.
Or occasionally a cow, but I think that's only one.
It's a couple of them.
Or a crocodile.
Again, I have 90% of them just by saying bird and cats. So, like,
yes,
that's a lot. Hello, Ethan. How are you doing?
I am, well,
Yeah?
Yeah, same.
Tell it like it is.
Okay, listeners, full disclosure, I did not do the reading until right before we hopped on this call, so yay.
I think that was everybody today, basically.
Yeah, full disclosure, I also forgot. I didn't actually forget, I just lost track of time because I was doing other important shit. And then,
Same.
Yeah, so we're all late.
It's fine.
But we did it. We're getting shit done.
We're making it happen.
It's great. So, Ethan, you're on for a new book series.
I am.
Yeah, did you read this shit before? Like, where you at with King Chronicles?
Yeah, I did read this when it was coming out. I did not own it, though. I always borrowed it from the library, either school or public.
Good stuff.
I'm really lucky that my local bookstores keep up with their Rick Riordan books, because I've been purchasing them all for these... Well, I'm starting to purchase them all, so now I own the whole King Chronicles series. I've always had the Red Pyramid, and now I have the other 2.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think I might have to swing by the old half-price books and see if I can find a copy, because most of my books are at my parents' house in Texas. So
I'm taking basically all of the books with me, and books are the problem. When you're moving and you're bringing all of your books,
in any size
are
of
so
box,
heavy.
it gets heavy so much faster than you think. It's horrible.
My mom was just like, "Oh, we'll just put all the books in your car, and then we'll ship the car." It's like, no, the car, they can only have 100 pounds of weight in the car when we ship it. That is 2 boxes of books.
2 boxes. Holy shit.
So,
Yeah,
not
they'll
really
get
working.
Oofa doofa.
Knowledge is expensive.
Knowledge is expensive.
Yeah, it sure is. Also, Ethan, hey, we have a project that we've been doing. We haven't talked about that since the last time you were on the pod, because it didn't exist.
It didn't exist the last time I was on the pod? I could have sworn it did.
I don't think it did. Let's see. Ethan, when was Ethan last here? No,
I do not
it did
remember.
not exist.
It did not
You were
exist.
on for
Okay.
Percy Jackson TV, so it's so
that
long
was
ago.
earlier this year, but before that project started happening.
Yes.
So perhaps.
Listeners, Charlie and I have a Scooby-Doo podcast called Mysteries in the Machine. Raye has been on it. I don't know if their episode's been released yet, but they have been there.
Yay.
Working on editing it right now.
There you go.
Thanks for having me, bros. So it'll be out by the time you're hearing this, so good.
Exactly.
Yay! But yeah, Charlie and I are covering every iteration of Scooby-Doo. As of recording, we have recorded all the episodes of Where Are You, but they are not all released yet. So, love that for us.
Yeah, we did the thing.
Y'all are trucking through it. Awesome.
Yeah.
It in fact took us half the time to cover all of Where Are You compared to covering season 1 of Steven Universe. Robert and I are still slugging through.
Y'all are close to being done.
We're close, but it's been so long. It's been over a year.
Well, season 1 has 52 episodes,
also,
doesn't it?
You had a mandatory hiatus for strikes, so that's not your fault.
Yeah, that was not y'all's fault.
True. It's just so long.
All right. Well, we should do the thing where we talk
Let's
about
do the thing.
book.
Do we meet the monkey?
We meet the monkey.
We did clarify that we meet a monkey. We looked it up beforehand, listeners. A baboon does count as a monkey.
He has a tail.
You want to do the thing again? I don't know it by heart.
Okay, listeners, if you grew up Christian in the mid 2000s to mid 2010s, you may or may not know this particular rhyme. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. Even if it has a monkey kind of shape. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. If it doesn't have a tail, it's not a monkey. It's an ape.
Words to live by.
Now I'm just thinking of the like a featherless biped. Behold a man.
The chicken,
Diogenes.
the featherless chicken. God, Diogenes, a great philosopher that is underappreciated. Only known for one thing, but he did a lot of other really cool stuff too.
He was a little freak, and I love that in a man. Okay.
We're getting off topic.
So, accuracy on the chapter. He gets a thumbs up for that one. I don't know that it's the most important thing that happens in the chapter, but it is maybe one of the most interesting, so I'll give it a pass. It's also a very simple chapter title. I feel like, it works.
Yeah.
It works. Though, Raye, I thought you would like this chapter most because we meet a little guy.
We do.
I mean, he is, by definition, a little guy. I have never liked baboons, though.
That's fair. They do have, like, crazy long canine teeth.
Yeah, their faces are upsetting. Their asses are upsetting. Their personalities aren't great.
Have y'all seen the baboons whose asses can inflate when they're in heat?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't need to know about
I don't
this.
like any of this shit. A
Sorry,
baboon does
on.
feel like it was invented by someone really, really horny.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Oh no.
Like,
This is the energy we're starting with.
We like Khufu, though. He's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, Khufu is decidedly not horny, so that's okay.
Yeah.
He's horny for basketball.
He is a little guy.
That is true.
Okay. We meet the monkey. Carter and Sadie, they get on this rickety looking ass boat and they end up all the way in New York in like 2 seconds flat. It's crazy town. They go to Amos's mansion and it's somehow on top of a warehouse and also like sort of invisible. You have to like focus on it to see it. It's crazy. And the cat needs an invite to get inside or else she's really upset. Lots of things are happening. There's a big old statue of Thoth in there, and we explain that he's here because we're in the Per-Ankh, the House of Life. Yeah, and there's also a sapient baboon named Khufu who loves basketball. Good for him. He and Carter really hit it off. Carter and Sadie get their own rooms, which they are unfortunately locked inside of, but they're still able to chat. They bond a little bit, and then Carter goes to sleep. And that's the whole chapter. We just go to one new location. Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be slow for a little bit, okay? We have 41 chapters.
41
true.
chapters.
We're
It's a fairly long book with fairly shorter chapters.
Yeah, we are an eighth of the way through this book, basically.
But I don't know that I even consider this like slow because this is the point where we really start trucking. I don't know. Like this chapter is when it starts to feel like Percy Jackson because a bunch of goofy ass shit happens.
Yep.
They're like, "Oh, hey, magic is real." Okay. I'm literally am unable to deny the evidence of my eyes at this point.
This man just talks to a baboon who is wearing a Lakers jersey. Like, this is normal.
Uh-huh.
This is a normal situation. There's a mansion on top of this warehouse. This is normal.
Don't worry about it.
Literally, just don't worry about it. My alternate chapter title, I feel, is like, I don't know, either like My Uncle's Butler is a Monkey or just like The Butler is a Monkey.
I do like that.
I do like that.
Or
That
the
feels
world's
very
fastest
Percy
boat
Jackson.
ride.
Mm-hmm. I
Something
expected
like
the
that.
boat ride to take longer, TBH. It was like 1 page. And then they were just
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's kind of shadow travel-y,
Mhm.
you know?
I feel like it takes a little bit longer than shadow travel.
You have to
just
get on a
little bit.
boat.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. All right. I do have some myth-ish stuff. We're gonna talk about it. It's gonna be
Okay.
great.
Oh boy.
So, in case you mythed it, but
But
let's talk a little bit about this Per-Ankh House of Life. Hey, it's actually not mythology. It's historical.
oh good.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I actually have a page here that it's not Wikipedia because there's no like Wikipedia page for the House of Life. It's like Egyptian stuff is like different. There's not a whole lot of it on Wikipedia comparatively.
That makes some sense.
So it's basically like an institution for like knowledge and writing. It's, I guess you could say, like a library or like a school type situation is
Good.
what it is,
Mm-hmm.
tied to like the crown and kingship. I believe also possibly tied to like the different temples and centers, stuff like that of worship. But like it's a lot about writing, which makes sense for Thoth, the god.
That's why
who's,
he's
like,
there.
He's there because
Right. The
all
god of knowledge and writing.
it's about knowledge and writing. That's what it is.
If you know who Thoth is, you're the kind of nerd who likes Thoth because he's a book guy.
Yeah.
That's why I think everyone likes Thoth, I guess. Just like the sample size is small.
Also, at least this site that I'm using is telling me that the high officials of the House of Life are called chief physicians. So like maybe there's something to do with medicine as well here. Like it's just knowledge and such. There's actually like a thing here. There's a link to like all the list of references to the House of Life as well. Like there's a lot of different references to it. Like this in fact was a thing that existed. It's not like some of those like very little obscure mythology things that you find like twice ever listed. This is like fucking history. Yeah, again, I could not find a whole lot about it without finding Rick Riordan stuff. But it does seem like the symbol is like basically the same.
It looks
There's
a
like,
little different according to the source you provided, but not too much different.
yeah, like it still has the same hieroglyphics because like it's a language. That's how it would work. But this has like a special seal where it's like the house symbol on top and underneath of like the Ankh symbol. So yeah. Uh okay. Oh, here's another site that I definitely found this site before too, where it literally lists like Thoth as well. Thoth under his actual Egyptian name, Jehudi. What?
I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh.
That's what it is. That's his Egyptian name. But this says that like hieroglyphs were created by him, blah 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 blah. He's very involved in the Per Ankh / House of Life. Also, another one of my favorite gods, Seshat. She's like, she works closely with Thoth. She's like the goddess of libraries.
Is she
So-
brought
I
up
love
in
that.
this series at all? I don't think she
No,
is.
she's not,
That's
and it makes me so sad.
stupid. That's stupid. Why is she not here?
Rick, why would you not
Right?
include the goddess of libraries?
Yeah,
I
come on,
love
Rick.
her
A lot of
already.
those places have your books in them. Come on.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just a place about like writing. And then now let me tell you a story about Egyptian magic.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So the main thing about Egyptian magic, it's the power of words. Does that make sense for why this would be our thing about magic?
Yeah.
Is like the writing place is related to this somehow?
I see.
Yeah.
So I literally found this under like the supernatural magic page on
Yeah, I was
Wikipedia.
like, the Wikipedia page for magic? That seems like a lot, Charlie.
Yeah.
No,
I was
we
like,
have-
this
we
is
have-
very, very broad.
it's the hashtag Egypt part of it, where it literally talks about it's at least here it's called Heka. I know that's also maybe the name of a god of magic and medicine, but yeah, it's the power of words breaking things into being, like just creating things out of words. And
Cool.
I feel like you could use a Dumbledore quote here, because like words are our most inexhaustible use of magic.
I mean, even like what people, at least in the modern age, like stereotypically say as something that's somewhat magical, abracadabra, that's actually an incantation that means I create as I speak.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Magic
speaking
all
into
about-
being is, it's in the Bible. It's
it is.
it's in my fan fiction that I read today. It really has
God was
permeated
in
the
your
culture.
fan fiction today?
No.
Who knows? Maybe God was in their fan fiction.
I mean, he
I'm
could
not
be.
saying it's not possible.
Sometimes I read Good
but-
Omens fan fiction and God is there.
As she should be.
As she should be.
God is neither male nor female, but that's a whole different discussion.
I just remember in Good Omens, God is voiced by a woman. So like
They use she, her pronouns in that show. I like changing the pronouns depending on which fanfiction I'm writing for Good Omens. Sometimes
I
it's
just
she, her,
use-
sometimes it's they, them.
No, I use they for God, just regardless.
Mm.
Because
God is all encompassing.
That's so valid. Yeah.
right.
I
You're
I
welcome.
just imagine
This is
God as
your-
an old pronouns kind of person.
Yeah. God's just an NB up in heaven, doing whatever they want to do.
This has been the theology talk with Of the Eldest Gods.
Theology is just the study of religion. Doesn't matter which one.
Exactly.
So we're always
Oh.
talking theology.
True. We are in fact of the Eldest Gods.
Hey.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's the majority of it. Is that it's like it's about bringing words into being. Yeah, that's
cool.
the majority of what it is. It's writing, it's words, it's knowledge, which I don't know, feels we there's some things going on in my brain where I'm still trying to figure out what D&D class
Okay.
the characters from this series
So for the
are.
first thing, if Egyptian wizards have to study like the written word to make their whole shit happen, that means that they're wizards.
Yes.
It does. There's a point for wizards. This is going to be an
Right.
ongoing talk, I think.
Yeah, well, we'll get further into it.
All right. Well, that's magic. That's the House of Life, and we've fully decided. I think that it's Per Onk.
Yes,
Because
I think
of,
I said it
Yes.
wrong earlier, but
I
that's
think you said, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they said Per Onk earlier.
Yeah, I don't know, because of something like a couple chapters ago, where like it
it was implied that it's pronounced pear by the narrative.
So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if that's what
I'm
Rick
told
says,
otherwise.
I have no reason to doubt him on this particular one thing.
I will debate him on how to pronounce Luke's last name, but that's it.
Sometimes we debate
Listeners,
him on how
I
to
agree
pronounce
with
his
Rick's
own
pronunciation,
last name.
but Charlie doesn't like that.
No. Cancelled. Okay, so we're meeting the monkey.
Yep, doing it.
Carter is sorry that it's his turn to go. We have a Carter chapter, y'all.
Welcome back, my boy. There's like framing device here of Carter being like, we were being followed by somebody, so we had to turn off the recorder, but now we're back. And it's like, what does that mean, buddy?
Hold
What
on.
does it mean?
Carter, the meta narrative. Give us more.
Also, this is Ray's little guy. This is it. This is
It's
Carter.
true.
Yes. Carter is Ray's little guy.
Yeah.
Carter is my very special little guy. I squeeze him.
He is such a sweet boy.
He is! He's doing his best, okay?
He's doing his very best.
We've literally figured out that, like, so much of, like, his personality is trauma response. So...
Oh, no. Carter, you poor sweet boy.
That's why he doesn't ask questions.
He's been living a life. Okay, so, yeah, they are going to a boat.
It's a little boat. It's made of reeds. Carter does not trust it.
He also doesn't like that there's fire on said reed boat. This seems like a hazard.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, I mean, the way the Egyptians made these reed boats is they would, like, coat it. They would coat the boats in, like tar and pitch, so it wouldn't, like, catch on fire.
I'll believe you.
They coated it in something. What? I'm not sure.
I also assume this is made of magic, so regardless, it's
Yeah,
fine.
it's probably fine.
So we also have our weird trench coat and hat person on this boat, who is the driver. We don't
And
see
Sadie's
who the
like,
driver
who's that? Yeah.
Like, Sadie asked the question. Amos?
I'm gonna say Amos.
Like, I know.
This is not the Spanish suffix for we, Charlie. It's Amos.
When I read this book, I would always say Amos because I had no fucking clue.
It is hard to
I
change.
don't know. But Amos is like ignoring her entirely, just like, it's time to go. Hang on.
Some fantastic Chiron level gaslighting by Amos here.
Literally, he's the new Chiron.
He is. You're so right. So then we go into the tunnel scene from Willy Wonka, or you know that.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh boy.
I thought of it as more of like either like apparition in Harry Potter or like hyperspeed in Star Wars.
Nah, this lights of the city blurred. We're surrounded by a thick fog. There's slithering and hissing and distant screams and languages Carter doesn't recognize. It's fucked up in here. I think it is like shadow travel, but like in like you're definitely going through some kind of location that you wouldn't want to stop in.
Gotcha.
Now I'm wondering. I gotta go see if Owen from Through the Mist has done an episode on shadow travel. I need
Hmm.
I need this this Riordan verse lore explained to me on like how you magic travel to places and why it is so fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so we lurch forward and like, hey, we're not in London anymore. There's the Chrysler Building. There's the Empire State Building.
We made
That's
it back to New
familiar.
York, baby! Percy Jackson Town!
Whoa! That's why it feels very Percy Jackson this chapter, because we're back in New York.
Wow. There's even a
We made
Percy
it.
Jackson reference in this chapter.
There sure is.
Manhattan has other problems, other gods. It's best we stay separate.
On the east side of the river.
Why does every ancient civilization have hold in New York City, Rick? Tell me. Why?
Actually, the Norse are in Boston, but you'll find that on Magnus Chase.
Okay, but that's still like New England. The Norse stuff takes place where you're from, Charlie.
I'm just glad that Rick didn't put everything in Texas. That's all I'm glad about.
Give me a Midwestern demigod, for goodness sakes.
Oh, I
We did
do
get
want
one.
some.
We do? Ooh.
That one guy, I don't remember his fucking name.
Raye,
The
that's not
immortal guy
helpful.
with the 3-headed guy. Charlie knows what I'm on about.
Garyon, yeah, that's Texas.
Yeah, Garyon.
Garyon
Texas is
and,
not
Cowhand.
Midwest.
No, we didn't get Midwest, but we got
Oh,
one guy
I
from
was
Texas.
still talking. I was still on the Texas train.
Oh, I've already
When
forgotten
is somebody going to
the
be from
other guy's
fucking
name.
South Dakota?
Raye, I hate to break it to you, but nobody's from South Dakota except you.
I know.
You are the only person there, no one else.
Well, them and their
Sometimes
roommates.
things do take place in Deadwood specifically, and I'm like, holy shit, Deadwood? They made a TV show about that town. I don't know why,
did.
but they sure did.
Hell if I know. Supposedly it's good.
I also wouldn't watch it because I hate going to fucking Deadwood. All there is to do is gamble.
Oh, oof. That's unfortunate.
It is not my kind of place.
No, I'm not a big gambling person. Like, I don't even bet on sports, and a lot of my friends do that.
I think that I'm like so above gambling all the time because like it doesn't hit my reward centers, you know, and I'm not very into like gacha games or whatever. Every time that I see collectible card packs in like stores, I'm like, what if I got myself a little Pokemon? And I'm like, you don't even know how to play that game, idiot. But I want them so
Okay.
bad.
Okay, Raye, I collected Pokemon cards when I was 8. I didn't know how to play the game either. I just wanted the cards because they looked cool. And that's the only reason you need sometimes.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
This is how I
Collectible
played
cards,
Pokemon Go.
there's something about them where I'm like, I put them in my hands immediately. So that's the gambling that I'm susceptible to.
Or like loot boxes in various video games. I hate them, but they exist.
The way that my family gambles is that we get mystery boxes at Comic-Cons. We're just like, who knows what's in there? Maybe it'll be something we want. Maybe it'll be trash.
It's usually not.
Why are we spending $50 on this thing?
I was gonna say, if they're putting in a mystery box, they want to get rid of it.
There's just like whole vendors, like a whole big like 2-3 space vendor that's just mystery boxes, and it's like maybe you'll get something good because there's so many boxes there, or maybe
There's
you'll
always
just
the
get trash.
chance.
Yeah, the mystery box people, I feel like they just got everything that nobody else wanted, and it's like, here you go.
Yep.
You could get something good.
You know,
But
and
you
they are
probably won't.
technically valuable products, but they're from like shows that no one gives a shit about. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Right.
But all right, gambling detour aside,
Yep.
We're in New York.
we're in New York, and
New York.
there's like a graffiti covered warehouse, and Sadie's like, that is not a mansion. Her powers of perception are really amazing. Thanks, Carter.
Yeah, but they really aren't amazing because you look away and then you look back and it's like, oh, there is a mansion there. What? Amos literally points at it. It's like, There's a mansion. What are you talking about?
It's right there, kids.
The gaslighting. It's
Anyway,
so real.
He's like, we needed a private location for this mansion. I want to know why it's here. I want the backstory on why specifically
Yeah,
it's
it's
on
not
top
like
of this.
most places in New York are especially private. That does seem weird also. But
Outside of New York City, sure, but in the city, probably not.
You know what I would have gone with? I would have gone with like abandoned subway tunnel that's like
Right.
a little secret place. I love those vibes.
Like the Rock of Eternity in DC. I think that you go through an abandoned subway tunnel to get there. I don't actually know. I just feel like that's always where Billy
I don't know
Batson
what you're
is.
talking about.
I thought you were gonna go with Ninja Turtles. Not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, true.
Oh, you meant DC Comics, not Washington DC.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, Shazam, that bitch.
Yes, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay, good.
God, I hate Zachary Levi, but that's a whole different discussion.
Oh dear. I'm gonna have to learn this drama later. Okay, so remember last episode when I said some things that I knew were going to be mentioned later? Here it is. They're on the east because the west is where the dead were buried.
Yep. There it is. The lore that Charlie literally spoiled last episode. We have to go and tell our music maker that she was correct. It was right here.
I knew it was a chapter later, but I had no myth stuff last episode. And I was just like, I'm grasping at straws.
You're just desperate to give some information.
I did that. I think I talked about Faust for like 5 seconds. I needed something.
There's a lot of stuff with Faust you could have gone into, though, right?
I mean,
it's not Egyptian.
Not a lot. It's not Egyptian. There's not a lot to go off of other than the last name of their grandparents is Faust. So I was just like, reference. Wonder if that's relevant.
We'll find out. All right.
We'll see.
So we are in the 21st Gnome.
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 As in Nome, not gnomes like the little guys with the hats and the beards.
Yeah.
Not Romeo and Juliet.
Wait. We redo Romeo and Juliet, and now they're Egyptian.
I would not put myself responsible for that, personally.
You guys ever think about Romeo and Juliet? Because I feel like, for what it is, it lives in my brain a little bit too much.
Some of it lives in my brain. Not all of it, though.
You know why it lives in my brain? I have a very specific thing that happened. So me and my friend, we were doing YouTube back in the day, and we were playing this game where we were trying to ship random characters. We both wrote down random characters, and then we had to pick 2 out and be like, okay, this is the ship now. I don't remember which of us picked it now, but what was picked was Nomeo and Shuri from Black Panther.
Huh.
Oh boy.
And we had to ship them. So Shnomeo was born.
Shnomeo!
Kyla, if you ever listen to this, Shnomeo will live forever on the internet now.
Wait, Kyla was part of this?
Yes.
Oh no.
The funnier thing is, we both wrote down Shuri. We could have gotten Shuri and Shuri, but instead we got Shuri and Snape was the other one.
Oh god.
Ew.
No.
Snape.
Ew. I would rather Shuri be with Nomeo, because at least there's not a creepy age gap.
I mean, he does have a beard. I don't know.
He's a gnome. All gnomes have beards. It doesn't matter the age.
Listen, she can use him as a toy. It's fine.
No! Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I love gnomes.
I'm done having this discussion immediately.
So, so yes, gnomes are what they use in Egypt instead of like states, I guess, like we do
Provinces.
here. Provinces.
For our Canadian homies.
It's just a district of sorts. It's a way to, do that. And now instead, with the world is divided into gnomes, I guess.
Yep.
Sure.
Why not?
Egypt is the first gnome. Greater New York is the 21st.
Okay.
That is a little silly that there's, multiple, presumably in New York, and Egypt is just the whole country is one.
I'm also interested in like which places, like how do we get to all these different ones? Like, why is that 21? I feel like it should be later.
The
maybe?
way I see it is that with Egypt as the first, so there is 360 gnomes, right? There's 360 degrees in a circle.
Yeah, I think that's
right?
how it ends up going, is like something like 360.
So you start with Egypt and you're moving west. So I think the logic is it's 21 degrees
I guess that can make sense.
from the North
That
Pole
seems-
west of Egypt. I don't know.
That seems unlikely because there is an ocean between them.
Yeah, that also means there are like parts of Iceland and Antarctica that are part of gnomes and Greenland.
I think we get it later that like
But it's
Antarctica
mostly
is
ocean.
the last one.
Okay.
Okay. So that lines up more with my assumption, which is that the gnomes are listed by relevance, like cultural relevance to Egyptian powers in the modern age. And so Egypt itself is number 1, and then like we get to New York as 26 because it's, it is a large city, like one of the most well-known cities in the world, but like as far as like Egyptian cultural shit, it's only 26.
Yeah. So is London? Which one is London? I'm sure I'm sure we figure out which one it is.
That is not information that I have.
I wonder what Greece is.
Yeah, that's probably pretty high actually, given like the cultural exchange between Egypt and Greece.
Yeah, like based on the fact that a lot of the names of the Egyptian gods we know today are in Greek, I would assume that it's like one of the like top 5.
Oh, London is the 9th gnome.
Wait, is this listed somewhere on the like?
This is in the Riordan wiki. I'm looking right now.
Oh my god.
The 14th gnome is in Paris.
I feel like my assumption is playing out here.
The 18th is in Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia, specifically.
Okay.
Sure.
21st is New York. The 51st is in Dallas, Texas. Great.
Of course.
Yep. The 100th is in Toronto. Okay, this may be closer to what Raye was thinking. Yeah, because then the 234th is in the Shibuya district of Tokyo. The 300th is in North Korea. And the 360th is in Antarctica.
It's interesting that it isn't like slices of the earth and that it is just like cities. Because you would think that, they would be larger areas.
But yeah, most of the gnomes are not named specifically, or I guess numbered.
That would be a lot if Rick actually did all this.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, he might have, and they're just not listed on the wiki, because that's where I'm looking right now.
Rick doesn't take notes. I need you to understand this. Like there's like literal like he's talked about this in interviews before where he doesn't take notes. What he does for the books that he's been writing nowadays is he goes onto the Riordan wiki and he looks at that and he uses that as his Bible.
Him.
Rick, that's not sustainable, my man. Like, do you not understand the concept of a book Bible? Like, I don't even write shit and I know about that.
You don't need to be a Tolkien, but you do need to have, like, something, because you have a magic system. Like, you need to
don't be a Tolkien.
Sometimes things just live in your brain, and then it's been a couple decades, maybe, and you're like, that's not in my brain anymore. Let's see if somebody else wrote it down.
Or you could reread your own stuff.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So much work. I would never.
No, just listen to the audiobooks at 1.5 to 2 times speed like I do.
Yeah.
I cannot listen to shit at 1.5 speed. That's too fast. I
No,
go 1.2.
Well, maybe it's because of because of the books that I'm currently listening to. I'm listening to the Aragon series Inheritance Cycle, and that narrator talks so fucking slow.
If you like
So
that.
so it's at like 1.6 times speed.
Ethan, I have a podcast for you if you're reading Aragon.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I have a friend who has an Aragon podcast.
Nice.
interesting.
I've never
Okay.
read the books, so I haven't listened. But
They are thick boys, I will say that.
the
Like,
most I know about it is that they exist. It was written by a child, and the movie was terrible.
The first book was written by a child. The movie was meh, and then he just kept writing. Like, there's 5 books in that series, and the quality in writing, from what I have heard, is apparent between the first book and the last book. I'm on the second book.
There you go. Let's talk about this chapter.
Yeah, we gotta speed it up.
The tangents are out of control. I am sorry.
Okay, so we're going into this mansion. It's gigantic, and we have to learn how to open it. And what Amos is like, Carter, after you. Like, open the door. How do you open it? How do you think? He just moves his hands, and the door, like, it's like a garage door, I guess. It just moves upward. And
Me walking into every grocery store, using my hand to use the force and open the automatic doors.
Oh my god. Wait, they're Jedi. We figured it out. Because they did Jedi mind tricks last chapter. Like, they're Jedi.
I guess Egyptian magicians are just Jedi.
New D&D class.
What is interesting about this is that the door is just like a slab, and there's no real indication of what you're supposed to do. And Carter lifts his hand by like instinct, and Amos finds that to be an interesting like choice. Like, there was other ways that could have happened, but
this was a
Carter
test.
like naturally went for that one.
It was a test. He's so Chiron right now. Like, it's not cool. Okay,
All
so
right.
Sadie tries to walk in, and Muffin, like, tries to claw her way out of Sadie's arms. She's just not happy right now. And Amos is like, oh, sorry, you may enter. She needed permission, specifically.
There's some
Vampire
shit
cat.
going on with this cat that we will find out about later.
The cat's the best, okay?
The cat becomes more suspicious with every chapter.
Yeah.
Good. She's just a muffin. Leave her alone.
We enter the great room. There's a bunch of ancient Egyptian like decor, and also a huge plasma screen TV. A true mix of the modern and the historic.
Well, that's what Rick does best. So
yes,
exactly. Also, now I can't get out of my mind like great room, as in like the where we used to play with toys at my work. So that's just where my brain goes to when I see that on this page.
Yeah, the rug is a choice.
It's a basilisk rug.
No, I thought it was an homage to something else that we'll find out about later, and not in a good way.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
For our listeners, the rug is a 40-foot long snakeskin rug. As in, like,
and 15
one
feet
snake.
wide. Yeah, big snake. Very big snake.
There's a lot of snakes in Egyptian lore. Just, like, so many snakes. It's because they're in the desert.
Okay, but you know which one I'm thinking of, right?
Yes.
Okay,
the world serpent, obviously. Oh, wait, that's Norse.
Okay.
Yes, it's Jormungandr, obviously.
There's also, like, a swimming pool here. Like, it's a kind of kick-ass mansion. But also, like, some padlocked doors with the Eye of Horus. So we'll find out about that, I'm sure. Also, Thoth is here. And
a statue of him.
Yeah, yeah, not real Thoth. Sorry, Thoth.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Would you live here? I would live here.
Why not? It sounds great.
Not alone, but yeah, I would live here.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be echoey.
Yeah, invite all your friends. It could be awesome.
Why the hell not? Let's do it.
Yeah,
it even comes with a
absolutely.
monkey butler.
Listen, I would love to play against Khufu 1-on-1, but we'll get to that later.
Like,
He probably makes me better at basketball.
I want to know how good he is. He's so small.
So they do their own, in case you missed it, in the book here. So since we already covered most of that,
Hey,
it's the Pair Ankh, it's the House of Life. It's an Ankh in a house. They got it.
they did it. It's great. And yeah, it's like on Thoth's statue. It's like he's got like a little scroll and it has the House of Life symbol. And that's when Sadie figures it out. Oh, that's what it is. Haha. So she can read it. And Carter figures out that the statue is Thoth.
Yes. And
He's
then
like,
they discuss that Egyptian depictions of their gods have animal heads because it's to represent them being part of two worlds. They're like the connection between the natural and the human. And so sometimes they would present themselves as fully human or sometimes fully animal, but they're depicted this way as like a symbol.
So they're like the Avatar.
Yeah.
Well, that's more literal than we are led to believe at this current time, but
Yes. But you gotta love that. That's like, it's very true actually, how sometimes they're represented as fully human, sometimes animal head, sometimes as fully animal. It really does depend on like what art is being had here.
So Amos says that he was the last member left in the 21st Gnome, which sounds, interesting.
Ominous.
But now he's got two new members, Carter and Sadie.
yeah, his niece and nephew. Great. Very good.
Who he kidnapped.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But he doesn't want to explain anything else because he is the Chiron. So he's like, you guys go to sleep, and then we get Khufu to show them to their rooms.
Yeah. So Khufu has the Lakers jersey, and Cardi's like, oh, that's my home team. Love them.
Okay.
Instead of being why is there a baboon here?
Okay. Here's my thing, right?
He's yes-anding.
Carter grew up in London with his dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
He grew up all over the world.
Yeah, Carter has... Where did Carter and Sadie and their parents live before their mom died?
I don't think they say it. I don't remember if they said it yet, but they did live in California.
Okay.
Maybe LA, I believe.
Okay.
And then Sadie lived in London, but Carter has not lived there for any particularly significant amount of time.
Okay. Because my question was, how did he settle on the Lakers of all teams be his team?
It's also his dad. Like, his dad taught him all the things that his dad likes, which is Egyptian stuff, basketball, and jazz musicians. So, like, I think this is his dad's home team. I think his dad is, like, LA born and raised. And, like, and Carter was until he was 8.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because, like, I'm from Kansas City. There's a lot of, there's 3 professional sports teams here. Nope, 4 now. And, my dad's a fan of all the Kansas City sports teams, and he passed that on to me, and now, like, I love them for different reasons. So, yeah, I can see where Carter's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I have to become a Buffalo Bills fan now because it's Abby's team, so...
It's fine, it's fine.
I have no stake in sports. I don't care.
Charlie, I know you don't care. I know Abby cares. And I think she only tolerates me because I am a Kansas City sports fan. That's all.
Oh my goodness.
Look, I don't mean anything like negative by that. Like, the Buffalo Bills are a good team. I'm not gonna knock them for that. They've been good for at least 5 years. But that's a whole different discussion that we're not gonna have right now.
Sports ball. Okay, so yeah, Carter's just like, yeah, I love the sports ball. Let's play later. Right now, we're going to do other stuff. They have to go to sleep, honestly, before they can survive and save their father.
Right, that's the very foreshadowy line that gets dropped right here with no further explanation.
Yep.
And then Amos takes Carter's dad's work bag, which Carter is reluctant to part with, but, what else? What can you do?
Yeah, we notice again that, like, they didn't lock that up. Very interesting. But
no.
Now it's probably going to be locked up because gotta keep it safe for now. It does have some weird magic items in it, so
you don't know that? We haven't seen inside of it. Not once. What's in there? Who knows?
Didn't Dad take the stuff out of it?
Maybe
in chapter 2.
I don't know. We haven't looked inside of the bag. If there were things out of the bag, that's not my problem.
Okay.
Right.
Fine. All right. So they're gonna go to their rooms. See you in the morning. Bye.
It is, like, way too fancy in here. Their individual rooms have, like, their own kitchenettes.
Would you live here? Again, would you live here?
Yeah, I mean, like, my room is an apartment, like a studio apartment.
Right. So you move into this house with all of your buds, and you all have your own, like, private spaces with your own little apartments, and then you have, like, this sick-ass, like, community space with a pool and a giant TV. There are no issues with this arrangement whatsoever.
No,
none whatsoever.
None.
This is like a college house, is it not?
Yeah,
like a frat house, yes.
But, like,
this
if
is a
it
frat house.
fucking ruled.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Wait! The Frat House of Life. That's what we're calling it
now.
You're welcome. But okay, do we find it creepy how everything that Carter needs is here? Like, his favorite snacks, his favorite soda, his brand of toothpaste. Like,
oh yeah, deeply suspicious.
The toothpaste, that's where the line was for me, is like, how did they know that?
Right.
Because,
like, people could find out your favorite snacks, but this is either magic or extensive stalking, and either way, it's a little unsettling.
I would suspect Amos would be up for either of those things.
With how weird and creepy he's been, yeah, exactly.
Though, I will agree with Carter. Ginger ale is a fantastic soda, and I will not hear any ginger ale slander ever.
I'm sorry, I can't drink it. I don't like it.
Raye.
Ginger is simply not a flavor I can have on its own. It's a good additive flavor.
There's a difference between ginger ale and ginger beer. Ginger beer tastes like actual ginger. Ginger ale is different.
I prefer ginger beer to ginger ale.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I'm the other way around. Like, I will drink ginger beer if it's part of a Moscow Mule, but that's really the only way I'll drink it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I have no stakes. I just am ginger.
Yeah. Just my roommates both drink ginger ale, and I'm like, well, I guess it's not my turn to have sodas if we get some,
Well, because, like, every time I went over to my grandma's house growing up, my grandma and grandpa's house, she'd just have cans of ginger ale in her fridge, and my cousin and I would always drink it. So, like, I associate that with being at my grandma and grandpa's house, hanging out with my cousins, and
you're not beating the old person soda allegations, which is what Sadie says.
That's fine.
Ethan, we all know that you are an old man. You're the dad friend.
I am the dad friend.
We all need one.
All right.
Listen,
all right, so
at least I don't like black licorice.
That is a point in your favor. Do you like those little strawberry candies?
They're okay. Like, they're not, like, my first choice, but I don't hate them.
I adore them little shits. I don't know where old people get them, but they
the dollar store. The dollar store.
Yeah, okay.
My goodness.
I don't know. My grandma always gets the best ones. I don't know how she does it, but it's not the same if you didn't get it straight from the old person.
It's really not. Or, like, those, like, butterscotch candies that are, like, just wrapped in yellow plastic.
Yeah, I also don't know where they got those, but I also don't like butterscotch, so this is another one.
Raye!
I'm sorry!
God, I am an old man, aren't I? God damn it.
Y'all, we have 2 pages left. Let's get through
I'm
it.
sorry.
Moving on. We got
Okay,
a real good
you also
view. We can see the Statue of Liberty. Like, that
right,
shit
they have
would be so
decks.
fucking expensive.
They
Yeah.
have nice decks with great views. What the hell? Okay. Would you live here, but with the stipulation that you have to sleep with these ivory headrests?
Ooh.
I don't know that I can do it.
know. That would hurt my neck.
Yeah, I have piercings that I got a couple months ago, and at first I had to sleep with like a travel pillow so that my ear could be in a center of a thing. I could barely do that. Like, I'm so picky about pillow placement. Like,
I hug my pillow to go to sleep, so
mhm.
no.
Yeah,
just a rock.
I'm
it's
not
just
hugging
a rock.
the rock.
It's a rock.
It'd be so My god, there has to be a better way than to have to sleep on rock.
Literally, so as someone who just recently slept the wrong way and it caused my entire like shoulder to get fucked up. My shoulder is fucked up for many reasons, but like when I sleep the wrong way, it makes it so much worse, and I had to take heavy duty pain meds to get it to stop hurting. It's so fun.
So
I don't
back
know if
to
I
our
could do it.
hypothetical. You're living here for free?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're living
You
here
just
for free,
have to sleep on rock?
but you need to sleep on rock.
If that's the
I
only
think it's worth it.
Okay. Yeah, if it's free and I'm sleeping on a rock, if that's the only thing I have to do.
Then I would have to be employed in New York to buy food and stuff, I presume. Maybe you don't have to buy food. Maybe the food is magically
No, I don't think
generated.
so. Because like Carter mentioned that all of his favorite snacks are just stocked.
Okay.
Just
Do you have
automatically.
We don't
no
know.
expenses? I don't know. It'd be hard to ever leave, I guess.
Like,
Yeah.
does Amos have a job, or does he magically create food? We haven't figured that out yet.
I think
We have not figured that out
being
yet.
part of the gnome is his job, maybe.
I thought he was a jazz musician.
Maybe it's like the Camp Half-Blood is also a strawberry farm type of deal where yes, that does happen, but it's not the primary thing that they do.
I need to know what their secondary jobs are. I need to know.
Okay, so our last real important thing is that Carter and Sadie chat a little bit through their walls. And Carter has a very sweet moment here of Sadie is like, "Can we trust Amos?" And Carter wants to reassure her, wants to make her feel better because he is feeling like a big brother suddenly, and he hasn't in a long time because they don't really interact like ever.
Yeah, she's scared because they're locked in their rooms. Like, he can't even go out on this beautiful, nice deck because they're locked in. And they're like, "Can we trust this guy who just, like, kidnapped us and was like, it's okay, I'm your uncle. I'm gonna take you to a mansion. It's fine." Like...
Oh, also, they confirm that magic is real.
Yeah, they're like, "We're not going crazy, right? It's magic?" Yes, it is. Cool. And Sadie misses her dad, even though she doesn't really see him. But, they're gonna find him. It'll be great. It'll be alright.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, so the chapter ends with Carter not sleeping with the pillow, and that's his biggest mistake.
Well, his first big mistake. There are more.
There will be more. Is it a mistake? We'll find out.
We will find out.
Yay, foreshadowing. Carter continues to be my sweet little guy. Love that boy. Very excited for more Carter content for me personally.
I mean, y'all are getting more Carter content next week, so...
Yeah, how dare next chapter be like 22 pages compared to these?
Yeah, we had a bunch of little bite-sized guys, and then it's about to pick up.
Who are y'all having a guest on next week? Because that's a thick chapter.
We are not.
Okay.
No, we're not.
You and me can do this shit, Charles.
We can do it. We can get through it. We're not going to go on too many tangents.
Again, I apologize.
Oh, you're good.
I'm just worried
the point.
because Raye has work. I worry about them.
Otherwise, yeah. If we weren't all late, we could have done whatever we wanted.
It's fine.
So, Ethan, where can the people find you on the internet?
Yeah, so I mostly use the Instagram threads sphere. So I'm on there at ethan.t.hulen. I'm assuming my name will be spelled out in the description of this episode, so...
Yes.
Otherwise, you can find Charlie and I on Mysteries in the Machine. That is every Monday, usually, wherever pods are cast. And we're also on Instagram at Mysteries in the Machine. Is pod in there?
Yeah,
okay.
pod.
It's been so long since we did that outro stuff, I forget.
I put pod in all of my handles that are podcast related, just in case.
Yeah.
So people know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
All right. And do you have a media plug? Like, what have you been consuming lately?
Ooh, okay. So I recently restarted a game that I really, really like. Probably got my favorite female protagonist in a video game of all time, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
Great game. And Charlie, it's ginger representation for you.
We love gingers. Gingers are the best.
Yeah, Aloy's fantastic. Basically, for those who have not played it, it's a like post-apocalyptic. Basically, it takes place in like I think Utah, where humanity has decided to they reverted to like tribalism, and it was like a whole bunch of different societies that are all like doing their own thing, and the main character finds a device that lets her like interface with digital things again after people have been unable to do it for like many generations, and she's one of like a few people who can do that. And the point of the game is like to find out, why, because a lot of the machines in the game will attack you just because of their nature, and others have been like corrupted, and they're trying to figure out what the corruption's coming from. So yeah, fantastic game. It stars PJO TV's very own Lance Reddick, R.I.P. But yeah, fantastic game. I could go on.
I feel like you're burying the lead. Does it or does it not have dinosaurs in it? Or is that only the second one?
The second game has dinosaurs in it. The first one has modern
just, like,
animals.
Inexplicably, but then there's like an explanation that does in fact explicate it.
There is an explanation, but you will have to play the game to figure it out. Because in the first game, there's more like regular animals. Like there's like crocodiles and reindeer and jaguars. And then eventually, like if you had the DLC, you get like bears, like polar bears, and the second one there's more like dinosaurs.
Okay.
Yeah, I have heard only good things about this game series. Like the narrative sounds very fun,
and the gameplay is super fun too.
Sweet,
sounds cool.
I've been playing Darkest Dungeon. It's a dungeon crawling game where you put some little guys through the horrors.
Do you create the dungeon, or?
Oh no, it's randomly generated dungeon crawls with like certain criteria. What's interesting about it is that instead of top down, it's like a sidewalking game, and so side view, and so you walk through high hallways from this side perspective, and then when enemies show up, they are also kind of lined up from this side perspective. And so the combat gimmick is that positioning really, really matters. I guess by side perspective, I mean like Mario, Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand what you meant.
Imagine combat like that where the two crews are facing each other. So, your positioning really, really matters because there's certain abilities you can only use from the front or from the back. And if the enemies mess up your positioning, then that can really screw you over. And so it's really addictive combat. But the real hook of the game is that you do put these guys through the horrors. You have to expect your heroes to fail, to die, to get so stressed out that they like become an abusive dickhead, and then everyone else gets more stressed out. And when things start going wrong, they just keep going wronger and wronger. So it's got a pretty significant difficulty curve. I was having difficulties with it, and then I watched a couple strategy guides, and now I'm good at it. So I'm hoping that this time I'm actually going to beat it. And I got way too obsessed with it and played it instead of doing things that I should be doing.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Charlie, your turn.
I'm not consuming anything new. I was just trying to see if the things that I've been consuming lately I've plugged on the podcast. I don't remember if I've plugged this, but I'm rewatching the Ace Attorney anime.
I think you might have mentioned that. I think I knew that.
I was just like, why not? I've got it on the brain right now. This is the last chapter that I could be like, almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas because we're still on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, it's about to be Christmas. Yay!
Happy Christmas, y'all. Yeah. So I'm just rewatching Ace Attorney and enjoying how gay the anime is.
Excellent. I have never seen it. I think I watched the first episode once.
Is it intentional or unintentional?
Oh, it's all not really intentional, but like
I think that the original game designer,
Yeah,
like
the
the character
original.
designer, she knew what she was fucking doing. Like there's some gay bait in my Ace Attorneys.
I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings.
I know very, very little about Ace Attorney, so
Highly
been
recommended.
explaining-
Please, it's an experience. It truly is an experience.
like I know the general idea of it.
You know what?
You
gonna
could
cover
not
this
imagine the shit
on
that
the
happens in
Mysteries
Ace
in the
Attorney.
Machine bonus show. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh my god, Charlie,
They're just detectives.
is our bonus show just going to be me playing through Ace Attorney for the first time?
You're welcome.
That would fucking slap. All right. We gots to be released from this mortal coil on that note.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's get the fuck out of my house. Now you understand my
The peril-
reference.
Get the fuck out of my onk.
Get the fuck out of my frat house. Actually, like I know
Frat House of
we
Life.
just got here, but like you guys have to go to your rooms. I'm gonna lock you in. It's okay. You have all the snacks you want. Like all the stuff
I
that
would
you
be
ever wanted
satisfied
is
by
in
that
there.
personally.
Yep, and
But-
gotta sleep on a rock.
Go sleep on your rocks. That's it. Bye.
A small price to pay. Bye.
Bye.
Of the Eldest Gods would like to thank its $10 and up patrons. This means you're either in the Savior of Olympus tier or the God Complex tier on our Patreon, patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. Thank you all so much for your support, especially Matt, our God Complex patron.
You can follow this podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send us a message through the duat to oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about the Riordanverse or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Against All Odds, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with mythology, no promises. You can check out our merch store on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. If you want to hear more from me, Raye, check out Barbie Movie Slap, a podcast where my co-host Ted and I discuss Barbie's cinematic universe. That podcast's Twitter is at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with the meme maker Robert called The Bits, where we talk about the Cartoon Network show Steven Universe. I also co-host a non-network podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo. Our music was created and produced by Isabel Strauss-Riggs. You can find Isabel at Kane I, that's I is in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane Eye. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing The Kane Chronicles. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Have you ever gotten so distracted in Stardew Valley that you forgot to sleep? Have you realised that you have a whole room in your house full of dolls? Or have you even bored your friends to sleep talking about your passion? Well then, Content Capable is the podcast for you. Join me, Sam, as I chat to people passionate about what they do, asking questions about how they fell in love with their passion, what they do, and how it interacts with their day-to-day lives. Catch the podcast every Monday as I find out what makes someone tick, all while gleaning interesting and insightful life lessons along the way. There'll be laughs, a bit of crying, a whole lot of conversations, and we learn just a little bit more about the world around us.
So I would assume it's supposed to be Thoth.
Okay.
But I mean, like, there's
This is Talia Thalia all over again.
You're welcome. Again, it's Thalia. You're welcome. Greek is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Dave X Media.